All right, hello, and welcome to this episode of Rad Reads. This is a podcast about reading rad things. So we just survived one of the hottest weeks in July, huh?
Yeah, it's
Or
been
this
pretty
summer.
brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe we could cool down with a little Christmas in July, which I always like to do Christmas in July. It's fun.
Oh, that's why I'm wearing this outfit.
Yes, that's exactly why. And so I've just got a great chiller of a story to share. So it's called Grandpa Got Run Over by a Bane Deer. As you might have guessed from the title, it's not exactly a Hallmark Christmas story. It is a story with liminal spaces, supernatural monstrosities, and mythical holiday heroes. And that's all that features in this Christmas speculative horror. So I've enlisted the help of the Rad Reverend, Timothy Radcliffe, because he's much better at character voices than I am. And at any rate, we both hope you will enjoy this live reading. So without further ado, and I should introduce this originally featured in Periapsis Christmas, edited by Katie Room. There are other great stories in this anthology, but today I'll be reading the one that I wrote. And here we are. Grandpa Got Run Over by a Bane Deer, a Gatewatcher story by Kaylina Radcliffe.
Nah, man, I don't get it.
Garrett concentrates on stirring 4 sugar packets into his diner coffee. I sigh at my own half cup and give the remaining brown liquid a swirl. It's still warm, even if I've been talking too much, but not warm enough. Exactly the wrong temperature. I grimace as I tip it back and set the ceramic down with a rough clink. It's like this. Say you're driving. It's a road you're used to, one you've driven a million times before. Maybe you're thinking about all you got to do that day or whatever. You're not paying attention to what you're doing, where you're going. I lean forward, my fingertips pressed into the table's surface. Garrett eyes me, wearing his signature amused smirk. That one that says he'll humor me, even though my crazy is showing. I press on anyway. But then you look up, and suddenly you realize you've never seen that stretch of road before. It's not like you've forgotten or spaced out. You look closer and you just know. It's all wrong. It's unfamiliar. But only for a moment. You blink. It's normal. Exactly as you remember it. But it wasn't that way a minute before. And even though everything's back to business as usual, even though you're safe, you can't shake that feeling like you've slipped into a crack. Like a misstep. Like somewhere where you don't belong. Garrett pauses, his eyes wandering to the dirty window pane beside us. He frowns at the morning frost hanging on the other side of the glass. I tap on the table impatiently.
That happens to everyone.
He decides, and tears the corner off yet another sugar packet.
People lose track of where they are while they're doing regular things all the time. It's your brain playing tricks on you.
Garrett, ever the devil's advocate. Yeah, except you know that's not what I mean. And it doesn't just happen when I'm driving, okay? It can happen when I walk into a room or when I'm drifting off to sleep. I'm telling you, I go somewhere else. I slap my palms against the table and press down. Somewhere that looks like it's here, but it's definitely not. Somewhere human bodies shouldn't go.
Huh?
Garrett stops stirring. He's intrigued, but he's not ready for what I say next. You ever hear about the knot deer?
The not deer?
Yeah, it's a cryptid. The one that looks like a deer, but definitely isn't. Garrett sighs.
Okay, yeah, I read something like that once. What about it?
I saw one the other night. The thing moved like a freaking nightmare. Right in my yard. I blinked and it was gone. Just like the damn road.
Oh, Jake.
Garrett pinches the bridge of his nose.
And this has nothing to do with the doubles that you've been working or holiday stress?
What? No, I snort, crossing my arms. I always get OT this time of year. That's nothing new. His eyebrows inches upward.
Come on, man. This isn't really like every other year, is it?
I grind the heels of my palms against my eyes and groan. Old people die, Garrett. I'm a big boy and I'm fine.
Sure, you're good.
Garrett holds up his hands with a sigh, but I can already see that priggish grin I hate coming.
But it also might be time to get your meds adjusted again.
I push back from the table. I'm not crazy. Not about this, I mean. Whatever. Shut up. Fine. Forget it. I gotta go. Garrett just wags his head and crosses his arms.
Merry Christmas, Jakey. Get some sleep.
Screw you. I throw down $4 in change and huff out of the diner door. I scowl at the weak sunlight that greets me behind a shroud of bleak winter gray. Why does every conversation end like that? Take your meds, Jake. See your doctor, Jake. Take care of yourself, Jake. I scoff. Everyone's worried about poor Jakey Jones because his job sucks. He's got his hands full with his depressed mom and his long gone old man and his dead grandpa. No wonder he's on benzos. Yeah, well, that doesn't make me crazy, I mutter and stalk off in search of my car. The air is frigid, the kind of cold that sticks like shards of glass in your throat when you breathe it in. I don't mind it much. In a way, I like it, that sharp breath, that slap in the face. It feels like clarity to me. I lift my chin to savor the chill, and I forget the diner and Garrett and the ludicrous amount of sugar he puts in his coffee. Those I pass in the shopping center parking lot don't feel the same way. They shuffle against the wind with heads down, hoods up, and gloved hands deep in pockets. Maybe that makes sense. It's the coldest Christmas Eve I can remember. Too dry for a good snow. Normal people don't like that. I locate my beat-up Corolla on the other side of the lot and check my phone. It's 8 a.m. I snort a little as I realize I've been awake for 20 hours. All right, Garrett, you've got a point. But the cold air breathes life into me. Could I even sleep if I tried? I amble in my car's direction. There's no hurry. Maybe it's Christmas spirit, or maybe it's fumes and diner coffee, but my limbs tingle with electricity. A memory or a dream from a Christmas Eve long ago floods my mind. One where that electric feeling courses through my fingers and toes. There's someone in my living room. Someone I know. He brushes sheets of snow from his shoulders and smiles at me. Santa? I'm not sure. Even then, I didn't believe in Santa. All I know is he didn't come through the front door. I chuckle. I can only imagine what Garrett would say if I told him that. A sound shakes me out of my thoughts. I just about walk into my own car. Close by, someone sings a gruff, slightly off-key version of Deck the Halls. I can't understand the words, though, and not just because the singer's low voice and interspersed hums. I'm pretty sure he's singing in German. I put my hands in my pockets and walk around to the other side of the vehicle. The homeless man I thought I might find there stops humming and looks up. He is leaning over his cart. It's stuffed to the brim with bulging sacks, piles of animal furs, and God knows what else. More ragged furs hang off his large frame, and a patchwork cap, also fur, but with deer antlers affixed to the sides, that sits atop his wild, gray streaked hair. Eyes as dark as coal find me through the matted mane and belly-length beard obscuring most of his face. He straightens and hefts what looks like a witch's broom over his shoulder. I resist the urge to take a step back as he reaches his full height. Mr. Nichols, I say with a nod. Thought that was you. How you been? Mr. Nichols points the broom at me.
Been behaving yourself, Mr. Frost?
Despite myself and the fact that Mr. Nichols is the most intimidating person in town, I smile. He's the only one who calls me by my mother's surname. I'm Jake Jones to everyone else, though I haven't seen my father in years. It strikes me that Mr. Nichols gets it right in the way that matters. I don't know, sir. You tell me, I reply. He digs in his pocket and withdraws something small. I open my hand as he holds it out and drops it into my palm. A hazelnut. Thanks.
You look like him, don't you know?
Mr. Nichols says, throwing his broom atop the cart. A dust cloud puffs around it as it lands.
John, that is.
Grandpa? Yeah, Mom says that too. I guess I can see it. I roll the nut in my hand. You knew him then, huh?
Oh, yeah, very well. Sorry to hear he passed this year. He and I've been having so many adventures. He was called Jack when we ran together.
My eyebrows just about jump off my head. You tell me he went by Jack Frost? Like the friggin' story? A grin cracks Mr. Nichols' lined, dirty face.
How about that? Merry Christmas, and happy hunting there, young.
Without another word, Mr. Nichols shoves his cart forward and hustles after it. It screeches along the pavement. I shrug and turn away, pulling open my car door. Happy hunting? When have I ever gone hunting? I glance over my shoulder, but Mr. Nichols is gone. Can't even hear his cart anymore. I frown down at my door handle. Wait a minute. How does an old homeless man disappear like that in a parking lot of all places? My car interior beeps, jostling me out of my thoughts. I hop inside and I shut out the cold and I hope the crazy, at least for a little while. The engine ticks to life, and I roll out of the lot, still searching for Mr. Nichols. For an old guy, he sure knows how to make himself scarce. I pull up to the roadway and hesitate, my hand above the blinker. I look to my right, to the busy downtown area already churning with the traffic of the last-minute shoppers, toward home. The voices of all the people who know better than me echo in my ears. Go home, Jakey. Get some rest. With a sharp squeal of my tires, I go left. I leave behind the parking lots and shops and happy suburban homes and head for the breakneck curbs and pothole-strewn roads outside town. Familiar roads that I've driven a million times before. My brain buzzes, a jumble of questions and full of a growing unease that's dogged me for the last few days. A warning siren wails in the back of my mind. It gets louder the farther out of town I go, and still, I'm drawn to wherever my car is taking me. Is this really all in my head? I crack a window and concentrate on my senses. Get grounded, I whisper, glaring at the road ahead, and you won't slip. What are 5 things you can see, Jake? Well, there are some trees. Okay, 1 down. Here are my hands right on the wheel. There's 2. And of course, there's the road. The road. It's not there. It's a black scar, crumbling, made of frozen ash and haze. A mockery, an imitation of the road it ought to be. I blink, gasping for breath as air siphons out of my open window, without a stirring on my skin, without a sound. I blink again. The road, my road, returns. Heaving, heart pounding, I tap the brakes and swing the steering wheel to the right. The wheels crunch old, icy snow. My car drifts to the roadside. Blood pounds in my temples. I slam into park, grasping for the door handle with a sweaty, trembling hand. I don't bother closing it as I stumble out into the roadway, even as my ears ring with the vehicle's soft, protesting beeps. I walk gingerly across the pavement and check my boots for contaminating black detritus. Nothing in my brief episode gave me the impression that the knot road would be sticky, but instinct tells me that in that other place, things that don't belong want to cling to the things that do. But the road is just a road. I stump into the field on the other side, run a hand through my hair, and sigh. What is happening to me? The field doesn't give me any answers. I gaze at the bleak expanse, barren and brown with the winter. It slopes up where a line of naked gray trees tops the ridge 10 acres back. I take a deep breath. It's normal. It's fine. And I just need to go to bed. But before I turn around, my stomach drops. My fingers and toes buzz, tingling to the point of pain. I move, but my body stays still. The world around me changes. Slipping. Horror fills me as the gray trees darken, now charred skeletons stretching jagged branches up to a swirling purple sky. The ridge, now covered in cold blue snow, undulates in my direction. I can feel the clearing sway beneath my feet. There's no wind, no snow falling from the sky, but black motes hang in the air. My breath crystallizes and plummets to the ground. I shouldn't be here. I want to turn heel and run, but something screams at me to watch the trees. I scan them as I back toward my car slowly. A shape weaves along the charcoal trunks. My feet hit the ashen road and black motes swirl around them. I keep my eyes glued to the shape. When it steps out of the trees, I can hardly understand what I see. At first glance, I think it's a deer. It stands completely still, thin legs, and a cervid-like body, a rack of antlers upon its head. But the longer I watch it, the less it looks like a deer. The body is bloated and ragged, like a dead thing sewn together after it burst. The antlers stretch high above its head, each point sharp and long like viper fangs. I catch a glimpse of an eye. It looks at me, not altogether alive, but not dead either. My insides churn. The not deer. I make a break for it. I see my car, or something like it, right within my grasp. I reach for the door, but it disintegrates beneath my fingers. The vehicle rusts, flakes, and is gone. I turn again. The thing is still there. It stares at me across the rippling waves of blue. It moves. Limbs shudder toward me in jaunty, mechanical horror. I blink. I beg my body to slip back. Please. Please! But the world stays blue. The distance between us closes. Blink. Shudder. It's coming. And I can't slip back. A scream tears from my throat. The world shifts. I blink. I feel it. I feel it in my fingertips that it's the right place, my place, but still the thing lurches on. I backpedal onto pavement, jarred by my sudden impact with my now very solid car. A sound, an unearthly, bone-chilling sound, issues forth from the monster. It sounds like triumph. I throw my arms over my face. Hooves clack faster on the roadway. A voice I recognize echoes around the countryside.
Zumot sacrament!
I open my eyes in surprise. Mr. Nichols stands in front of me, stretched to full height, arms up as he wields his broom like a broadaxe. The knot deer staggers backward, black ichor oozing from its pelt. The wounds and ichor smoke. Mr. Nichols' broom gleams. It's sharp like steel, sharper than a bundle of sticks could possibly be. He slams it onto the monster's neck. The thrashing head splats onto the pavement.
Ah!
Mr. Nichols spits at the sizzling carcass. I blink, slumping against my car. The knot deer flakes away like ash, leaving behind a fetid pile of black flesh and fur. I look up at Mr. Nichols. He smacks the ground with his broom, and it sparks. I flinch.
What are you doing?
He asks, pointing the broom at me accusingly.
You make a habit of leaving the ice gate wide open? You want more than these to follow you?
More? I swallow hard. There's more of them? You know what that thing is? The old man's face crinkles in confusion.
Yeah, I know. Of course I know. Don't you know?
My throat is too dry to answer.
So Jack didn't tell you now, did he? This is troublemaking.
Mr. Nichols rubs his ragged beard.
This was supposed to be his job.
I think I need to go to the hospital.
It takes getting used to, but you will be fine.
He dismisses me with a wave and walks away. I open my mouth to protest until I see his destination. His shopping cart. Except it isn't his shopping cart anymore. It's a carriage now, with two enormous mules attached to it. Mr. Nichols pauses and beckons with his stick.
Come, Mr. Frost. No time we are losing.
I don't question him, but wobble to my feet. He waves his hand at my car door as he ambles past, and it shuts on its own. I trip a little. That didn't happen. Did it? Mr. Nichols continues, and with each step I'm sure he's grown larger. I hurry up behind him. He's definitely over 8 feet tall now. Mr. Nichols, I ask, still trying to walk normally on my jelly legs. He reaches his cart and pats a monster mule as he climbs in. What are you?
Yeah, that is a good question.
He laughs abrasively, and with one hand grabs me by the back of my hoodie and lifts me into the cart.
I am Belschnickel, of course.
I put my hands over my face and groan. That Pennsylvania Dutch version of Santa? I pause to cough, wondering if my nausea is also making me delusional. You've got to be kidding me. Mr. Nichols snaps the reins and glares at me.
Belschnickel is not Santa.
The cart careens forward, and Mr. Nichols supplies nothing else. By the way he sneers at the name, I can only assume Santa exists as well. Of course he exists. Why wouldn't he, in this very peculiar scenario where it's Christmas Eve, and I've lost all grip on reality? You mentioned my grandpa. What does he have to do with this? What was he supposed to tell me?
He was gate watcher, yeah?
Mr. Nichols answers candidly.
Like Belschnickel and others. And now you.
A gate watcher? I frown. Grandpa was a mechanic and I do overnight stock. What are you talking about?
You are gate watcher. Like Jack before you. You guard the gate, Mr. Frost.
Mr. Nichols pokes me in the chest. It hurts.
The ice gate. A gate, one of many, between your world and other unhappy places.
So, the place I keep going to. The words come slowly as I wrap my mind around the incomprehensible. The place where people don't go. I really am slipping into another plane of existence? That's what just happened to me? Mr. Nichols nods.
It was a gift for all the firstborn males of the Frost line from the beginning. Helgat appointed gate watchers, for evil was always trying to get into this world, a world ripe for devouring. The Frost family's responsibility was the ice gate. Belschnickel watches another. And so many in this world watch their gates, holding back and destroying the monsters when they attack.
The knot deer, I say with a comprehending shiver.
Your grandpa was always calling them Bane deer.
Mr. Nichols shrugs.
This is the form they are taking for our gates, but I expect Other gate watchers battle different demons, nasty hell beasts. They are always wanting to eat up souls and even each other.
I have about a million questions, but no time to ask them all. So I'm slipping into this place to stop Bane deer from coming through my gate, the ice gate. How am I supposed to do that? How often am I supposed to do that? How do you even find the ice gate? Good God, Mr. Nichols, do you know how crazy this sounds?
Pah! That power is already in you, Jake Frost.
Mr. Nichols answers dismissively.
You go to the ice gate when it weakens, and it only does that around the winter solstice. It is instinct, in your blood. You know when the veil is thin between worlds, and you know the Bane deer are coming. And so you are always going to the thin places and stopping them.
Yeah, well, I don't have a demon slice. I don't have a demon slicing broom, do I?
It's called a switch,
Mr. Nichols says indignantly.
and you don't need it. Jack Frost did not need it. The power was coming from here.
He pokes me in the chest again.
Feel it in your hands, your feet. That energy will come when it is time.
I look at my hands, and I think I know what he means. I did feel something, but I can tell Mr. Nichols doesn't quite understand how it works for me either. He may have known Grandpa as Jack Frost, whatever that means, but that doesn't help me right now. I place my elbows on my knees and I look down at the carriage floor. If this is real, why didn't Grandpa tell me any of this?
I am sure he was meaning to, when the time was right.
Mr. Nichols says.
But gate watchers live longer than other mortals. Jack had hundreds of years left. No doubt he was not expecting time to be so short. But then, no gate watcher knew what was coming last Christmas Eve.
It hits me like a blizzard that everything I thought I knew about that Christmas morning, the morning I found him, was wrong. He didn't have a fall on Christmas morning. Mr. Nichols shakes his head curtly. Holy smokes, I say. Grandpa got run over by a Bane deer.
Just one?
Mr. Nichols scoffs.
Jack Frost could stop one Bane deer in his sleep. Now, a horde of those hell beasts, yeah, that's another story. It does happen, once in a century or so. If they do not devour each other first, the crafty ones learn to work together. They learn to be patient and wait for the feast on the other side of the gate.
I choke a little. I don't have to fight just one. I have to fight a horde? A horde of demons that murdered my grandfather who actually knew what he was doing?
Maybe, maybe not.
Mr. Nichols' face hardens, even more than usual.
Some gate watchers fall, but we are killing many more of them.
The wobbliness in my leg intensifies, even though I'm still sitting. I can't do this, I whisper.
You better do it.
Mr. Nichols replies sharply.
Do it for Jack.
The words are bracing, and I flinch, but it wakes me, like a cup of water in the face. I sit up straighter. All right. Mr. Nichols pulls on the reins, and the mules clomp to a halt.
Here we are.
I look around. It's another clearing outside of town off the muddy trail road. I don't see a house or farm for miles. Where's here? Mr. Nichols gives me a hard look.
You know.
And I do. I can already feel it. The electricity in my limbs, the uneasiness in my stomach. It's the ice gate, and right here, right now, it's weakening. And something is coming. I hop down from the carriage, but not without looking back at Mr. Nichols. What about you? Are you coming? Mr. Nichols picks up his broom and taps it on the side of the carriage.
You are forgetting. Belschnickel is watching his own gate. The wild gate elsewhere is weakening.
I don't want to know what comes out of the wild gate. Good luck, I say.
Happy hunting, there, young.
And with a nod and a snap of the reins, the Belschnickel, carriage and all, leaves my plane of existence. I turn to the clearing and shake out my fingers. Okay, I say, and I'm glad no one can hear me. My name is Jake Frost. I am a liminal space hopper who fights demonic reindeer, and I am not having a psychotic breakdown. Oh man, that sounds like something someone having a psychotic breakdown would say. My body buzzes with energy as the clearing shifts. I slip. Undulating blue snow. Swirling purple sky. I stare over at the changed field, a world between worlds. The ice gate. And I am not alone. A Bane deer stands 100 yards away, its hooves obscured by a dark, wispy shadow. Though no sun shines in the ice gate sky, it watches me. A chill runs down my spine, but I'm not going anywhere. Not this time. My heart pounds as the hell beast lurches. It stacks its ragged body up on stilted legs to stand and face me, a caricature of a man. Black eyes bore into me. Claws like grappling hooks extend from its front hooves. An unholy bellow rings in my ears. The sound reaches a fever pitch, jarring and excruciating. I scream, but I don't grab my head and run like I want to. Another instinct pounds into my brain. Stretch out your hand. I take a deep breath, and I lift my arm, aiming my palm at the Bane deer. It snorts in fury. Every hair on my body stands on end. My skin hums with energy. Push. I direct everything I've got into that hand. My terror, pain, and fear that I've lost all grip on reality. Something forms between my outstretched fingers. The monster recoils, but still it gets on all fours and moves faster than any living thing should. I remember it's not living, not really, as it barrels toward me. It lowers its head, the rack of antlers like lances. Energy coalesces in my hand. I can feel it like a ball of ice, though I'm not touching it. It has shape, weight, and form, and it occurs to me that I'm about to do the most natural thing in the world that I can do. As natural as breathing. Release it. I push forward and the elements obey, concentrating their essence on the Bane deer now feet away. It hits. The Bane deer stops short. It crumples. Frost showers against its mottled, grotesque body. Ice flows along the spear ends of the antlers like water. With an angry bellow, it shakes its head. Shards of ice fly off. I pour more into the stream flowing from me, but this time, it's elation, passion, victory. Relentlessly, the ice grows, encasing the Bane deer's body like crystal. Time seems to slow around it, and the demon focuses one black eye on me. Fire churns beneath the surface in an abyss so deep and dark, I think I'd have to slip through hundreds of gates to get to it. But that's a jump I'll never make if God above lives. I see hell at the bottom and shudder. Frost blooms across the Bane deer's eyeball, shutting that deeper gate forever. The black fire fades. Before I can even say, God Almighty, the creature disintegrates, flurrying away on the ice gate's non-existent breeze. A pool of ichor oozes around my feet. I lower my hand. It's shaking. So, Grandpa, this is what you were always up to on Christmas Eve. I grimace, recalling his abrupt and inconsistent arrivals on Christmas morning. I always assumed the black stuff smeared all over him was car oil and grease. I look down at my shoes, and I wish I could still assume that. Something rumbles in the distance, and I snap my gaze back to the clearing. Now what? Black pools bubble up from the blue snow. Hundreds of them, all spreading across the ground in an instant. A writhing darkness, thick as slime and as fluid as smoke, rises from each pool. Shapes resolve and solidify. Antlers. The Bane deer claw out of the darkness, dripping and slick like newborns. The image of Grandpa's bruised and battered body floods my mind, crumpled at the bottom of the cellar stairs where I found him. My stomach turns, and my legs quiver beneath me. This is how he went down. Overrun and outmatched. How could I think that I stood a chance? The Bane deer charge. A mass of rickety, spidery limbs and teeth-like antlers. I raise both of my hands, and the power comes quickly, spraying into the onslaught. I know it's not enough. It's never enough. I can never do enough. But a voice reaches me, an echo of the world I've slipped out of and left behind. You're more than what you think, Jake Frost. You're not alone. The call of home reaches into my bones. Electricity engulfs me. Just as I see the first of the Bane deer's evil black eyes, I take a step back. Everything shifts. My feet strike frozen grass and solid earth. The sky turns black, but I see familiar stars and the curve of a setting moon. I am home, but I tense again at the shot of warning beside me.
Out in the gate! It's open yet!
Mr. Nichols, or rather, the Belschnickel, stands at my right. He's even wilder than before. His ragged fur is transformed into a sleek pelt on a now bear-like body. He roars and shakes his antlered head, pointing with bear claws. I look. A blue gash rents the space before us, illuminating the darkened clearing. The gash bulges. Howling demonic shapes scrabble through. The Belschnickel sweeps the switch in front of him, striking a dark mass shaking itself free. It falls, and he crushes it with his clawed feet.
Now, Mr. Frost!
I stretch out my hands and direct energy toward the Bane deer. One or two freeze, but more pile into the opening. I look on in horror as they tear the gash wider. More escape. And the Belschnickel roars.
The gate!
I suddenly comprehend his original command. Close the gate. I focus on the gash. Energy flows from my palms. Despite the ripping of razor antlers and clawed hooves, the blue glow and the world behind it begins to disappear. But the demons are clever. They see me. They know. The Bane deer leaps through the opening and dodges the Belschnickel's savage swing. I throw one hand in its direction. Frost sprays over its head. Too little, too late. An antler pierces my palm. Pain screams through my hand. I twist, avoiding the rest of the rack, but I stumble and fall to the ground. The demon bears down, intent on goring me. I grab onto its horrible muzzle with both hands, despite the agony. The demon freezes instantly. I close my eyes as it shatters. Still, I can hear the desperate roar of the Belschnickel. I look. The ice gate splits even wider. The Bane deer pour out, bellowing in frenzied anticipation. But even they pause as a streak of red light blinds us all. The light screams into the clearing. The Bane deer shriek as something flurries into the fray. I squint. A man, dressed in red, picks up Hellbeast with one hand and punches them to pieces with the other.
Ho ho!
He shouts, crushing a Bane deer beneath his enormous black boot. Iker sprays onto his white beard.
Nothing quite like learning on the job, Keep on, my boy!
I chance a confused glance at the Belschnickel. He rolls his eyes and swats a Bane deer aside like a fly. It explodes into Iker and ash.
Santa Claus, of course,
he says to my unasked question. I get to my feet, stretching my good hand toward the gate. Hellbeasts screech as the gate closes, severing limbs and heads pushing through the opening. Of course. With Santa and the Belschnickel stemming the relentless tide, I focus on the gate. My good hand burns. I've lost feeling in the other. With painful slowness, the seam draws together. Creatures clamor at the gash, but I can only see the flash of hateful eyes and brandished antlers. The blue light dims as it becomes smaller and smaller. With a pop, the seam seals. The furious bellows of the monstrous horde within evaporate into jarring silence. I breathe hard. My arms fall limp to my sides as I investigate the rest of the clearing. The sky, bright with the coming dawn, displays countless smoking piles of Bane deer hides. Mr. Nichols, returned to his usual form, walks around the clearing and kicks at the remains. Santa looks on, arms crossed over his thick chest, smiling broadly. I don't know what to say. I rub my left hand, aware that the wound is closed and healing. Thanks. Santa waves off my gratitude.
This is what Gatewatchers do. It is what I wish we could have done for Jack,
Mr. Nichols says solemnly. I know it's not the same, but I think he'd be grateful. I rub the back of my neck and frown. If you hadn't called me out of the ice gate, I would have been stuck there. I would have died too. Mr. Nichols' brow wrinkles.
That wasn't me. I showed up just when you did.
I look over at Santa. Was it you?
Not me,
he muses, running a hand through his white beard.
All I had was a feeling that was needed here, so I came as soon as I closed my gate. This was the same for me.
Mr. Nichols scratches his head. Huh, I say. And no one can think of anything to add. We stand together in silence. A warm yellow sun rises over the branches of bare trees in the east, its glow diffusing across the patches of clouds and illuminating them with brilliant shades of orange and pink. It's Christmas morning, I realize. Mr. Nichols scowls, shielding his eyes.
That is that,
he grunts.
Very well. Indeed, it's time.
Santa almost gets Mr. Nichols in a bear hug, but the wild old man jukes him like Shady McCoy. I rub my eyes as Mr. Nichols materializes on his carriage and hurriedly slaps the reins. Santa laughs when he disappears.
I'll get him one day.
Santa laughs even louder. The sound as merry as wedding church bells.
Maybe next century, And now, you have an engagement on this fine morning, don't you?
It barely phases me that Santa knows what I'm up to. I nod and try not to think about him seeing me while I'm sleeping. He squeezes my shoulder.
You did good this year, Jake,
he says.
Jack would be proud. Until the next solstice.
In the twinkling of an eye, I find myself in my car, turning off the ignition as it idles in the diner parking lot. Light snow falls and dusts the roofs of cars and buildings as I get out. I look at my hands. No evidence remains of my night except for a tiny pink scar in the middle of my left palm. It really is possible, I think. This could all be in my head. I walk up to the diner with my hands facing the sky, catching the flakes. I smile when they don't melt. When I push open the door, Garrett is at our booth already, waiting. He looks up to greet me.
Merry
He pauses and stares as I sit down.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, I reply cheerily.
Good Lord, Jake. You look like you've been through hell.
Garrett pushes a cup of coffee across the table.
Did you sleep at all last night?
I drain the cup in one gulp and grin. Not a wink. And that is the end of Grandpa Got Run Over by a Bane Deer. Thank you for joining us for this reading. And until next time, read rad things.